Even know, I was so excited. That's awesome.
Before you say something about me, I do. Quite a few online, 17 of you, and good showing in person too. Thanks everyone again for coming. I do know we have at least one new face in the room, but I don't really I don't want to go through everyone's introductions, but if you wouldn't mind introducing yourself, and then if there's anyone online, please make sure you sign in so we can get you for attendance, and attendance sheet is on the corner here, so.
Saying I'm the only new person.
You are the only new person.
I'm Jake Harris. I work with Helen, April, and Shanice in City St.
Awesome. Well, glad you're here. You'll learn about us throughout the meeting. Again, for the sake of time, I didn't want to do full introductions. But he is kind of second shift with St. Pete Outreach.
Yep.
So new person out there. I'm excited to see that. Anyway, I don't know if you already connected with Arrow as a Largo team. Clearwater maybe online. So some good opportunities to connect.
Awesome, thank you.
Let's go ahead and just move into the agenda.
Has anyone been able to review the meetings from last month and any questions, or are we good to just approve them?
I move we just approve them, if there's no changes needed.
I see.
I didn't see anything that was.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right, hearing none, we'll go ahead and move on. The minutes from last meeting are approved. And we'll just jump into our subcommittees. So thanks again, everyone, for showing up. We'll just jump first into deployment. So Dama.
Hi there.
Hi, Dama.
So for deployment, we do have all of the locations identified. We have the number of volunteers and team leads that are needed. We know how many incentives are needed per location. I believe that would be the majority of my updates. And Dominique, based on our conversation yesterday, I did try to create that list in case there wasn't one as far as what needs to be available for batching.
Okay. All right, so deployment list is completed. Has that gone over to the final draft and sent to HL yet? I don't think.
I was going to send it after we were done with this meeting.
Perfect, awesome. If you could send that over. We are working on an extra layer to kind of help give another map of where people are going and how many people were surveyed in an area. A little bit smaller than the zip codes, basically. So a map that we can look at after the fact based off of EMS grids. The deployment is similar to ways in the past. The batching, do we have all our volunteers figured out for batching? Like who's going to be there and
The invites were sent out.
okay. So that's a calendar thing. So the invites have been sent out for batching, so it's all deployment leads or somebody representing that deployment should be picking up. I am getting law enforcement because we're doing their training the following week. And so that actually, the batching is happening the 23rd Friday in the morning, just before. Yesterday, when I met with Dama, how are we doing with incentives? Did we get everything squared away for incentives?
So we have $3,000 we can spend on the extra incentives that are wanted. And we're looking at Winn-Dixie still just to match what we have from last year. And also because it seems like they provided a discount versus Walmart, who I think we're able to purchase from, but does not provide any kind of discount. So.
Was there any feedback on that? Anyone have any questions? I think the biggest feedback we had on Winn-Dixie was that they're just not always accessible. Do we know if Winn-Dixie's good at all these two? But they own each other.
I don't know that, I can ask.
Yeah, that was the only issue
What?
we had for at least the St. Pete area. It was definitely about the Winn-Dixie. Colonies.
So do we know how many, will we have enough incentives based off of the numbers that were provided?
We'll definitely have enough. The request for more incentives was basically to have the extras, but I'll know for sure once I get the deployment list with the number of volunteers, team leads and incentives needed at each site.
Okay. There was a question in the chat, Colette, yeah, I'll give you the new Tarpon contact, I think it's Smith. I will forward you, I will connect you guys. Him, and I believe he's identified one more officer to help out in Tarpon.
I think according to anything on Google/AI, it says no, they can't be used.
Okay. Anything else from deployment? All right, moving on. Marketing, and part of marketing is also kind of more the advertisement of the day of. So is there any update for how things have been going with marketing and getting the word out?
Nothing. Nothing that I've heard.
We've been sharing a lot on our social media channels as well as in every constant contact I think that has gone out. And at various public meetings.
We did send out the registration for training as well, and that went out to hopefully everyone, not just those that are registered, and there's a link within that email body for people to register for PIT as well, so they can do register for PIT and register for training through the same email, which is good.
So
I
somebody
have a
registered.
question.
Yep.
Sorry, I had a question about the constant contact and, the updates that are sent via email from HLA, which are great. I used to have a constant contact where I composed a monthly newsletter. And at the end of that newsletter that I sent out through constant contact, it allowed me to make a link to put on social media so that people could click on all the links that are in those wonderful constant contact emails. Can you guys put that on social media so that I can share it widely with, I'd like to share that email on social media. You know what I mean? You guys, it doesn't seem that HLA puts that constant contact email on social media with all the links. Or I might be missing something. Just wanted to.
We can look into that. I don't use constant contact. It's another individual within our agency that does it, and we can definitely talk about it. I've never heard of that, because I don't know anything about constant contact.
But we will look into it.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
I'll be honest, we are still low in recruitment. I think that honestly kind of folds into marketing. We're still waiting on the definite numbers based off of deployment, needs that were identified, like how many break up into the small groups. Also, it also depends on if someone volunteered for one shift or if people volunteered for 3 shifts, right? So there is kind of a balancing act of that, but we are still short on volunteers. Right now, I think it was about 270.
Yeah.
I can send another email to our team.
Yeah. I could definitely.
You guys
We did
did?
have some.
I can send another email today to
Yeah.
our team. I have not since we came back, but I
Avery
can
did.
send another one. I mean, to our entire
Oh,
citywide team.
okay.
Yeah, so, we're gonna do one more this week too with the training schedule released for next week. But if you haven't already online as well, please encourage, not just in your work network or your social network, volunteers for that day, because I think we are short, because not everyone gets trained and will actually end up going to the site.
I think we had last year, probably the thing that took the most time is there wasn't, I mean, we've never really had huge concentrated areas in like mid-county, but there was so much walking and we're driving. I mean, we had spots that took I'm like a few people even. So I may tell them like scope out the area first a little bit and then park and walk somewhere instead to try and cut some of that time down if they do need to cover more areas with fewer people. I don't know if some of the other folks, especially with like the anti-camping law, we kind of had some discussions that sometimes is not as visible. And so
I try to level set in my training too. I think I brought this up before, that you're not gonna have like a line of people at most sites. Like, you're not gonna be in demand, because that was feedback I got one year from a coworker. They're like, I had 2 people, and I'm like, you
Yeah,
got
that's about right.
right. So, sites do vary significantly, and then some people don't want to really interview 15 to 20 people. So that's something that I always try to explain to people, but it does help to drive around and get the idea visual too. Other thing I'll say about marketing is on Friday, during the COC board meeting, they are bringing up point in time and the need to register and volunteer. There are still agencies within the COC that don't have, people registered to volunteer, so I'm hoping that that will also be. I'm just kidding. We can talk offline. So I would encourage you guys, again, just to spread the word, and I want to thank everyone who has volunteered, and I'm not saying you guys haven't amplified that message and shared it already. I am grateful for everything that you guys have been doing. And for many of you, all of you probably that have registered, so.
I'll be reaching out to whatever media contacts I can find from years past. I don't know what that looks like right now, but that's something that's on our list to do.
Yeah, you guys are typically do a lot of press related to it as well,
Yeah.
and, I'm actually gonna go out of order because I think one opportunity for press would be the youth outreach, so if you guys don't mind, I'm gonna jump down to you. I'll volunteer your thunder, so let us know what's going on with you.
We have 2 events scheduled on the day of, one at Family Resource Center and one at Ready for Life. Obviously to try to leverage our current clientele who qualify for this and would be a respondent. But also through advertising efforts that we'll do, hopefully attracting some who qualify for our services normally who aren't aware of this, who would be through the fit path. So the Family Resource Center will be 10 to 3. Ready for Life will be 10 to 4. We will have, we'll have food, we'll have other resources for them, be a place to hang out for the day, all that kind of stuff. So hopefully, yeah, those are opportunities to make, to capture a bigger number of people in one spot, and make it convenient for them. And we will also be meeting tomorrow, to finalize, some of those events, to get the marketing out for those that we can do, and then I'll share that as well, so you can amplify it. As well as talking through our agencies, how to recruit some more volunteers. I was waiting till today to hear how we were doing, and so we can put some efforts behind that through our networks to probably get some more people, even our volunteers.
Yeah, and so right now we have you guys, the way we have you set up in deployment is that we're not gonna be activating volunteers to the 2 youth
Right,
sites.
no, we're gonna
So,
volunteer.
yeah,
We're
you're gonna have
staff.
your own volunteers, and then if people that are trained and registered, we'll just need to get together, probably with TV as well. Sort of like Dream Center, where they're not gonna be deployed to a location, so I don't know how that was done in the past, but, we'll work on that. So that we're not assigning them somewhere else when you need them on your sites.
Got it.
Are you guys doing, any social media push yourselves, like, are you creating events
We-
or? Okay.
Yeah, after tomorrow.
And then-
After that meeting.
And then we can amplify it, like the county, we can repost, as long as there's an original post.
Okay.
For social media. And that might be a good opportunity too for, press and social media. Which there I was going with that. And so I did just load the page, there's 270 volunteers registered in there. Which is a little bit more than yesterday, so people saw that email probably for training. Go back up to survey development. Survey development is done. The paper survey, we are still working on last minute kind of buttoning up of the digital survey. Includes, HUD has not provided any additional feedback, at all for HUD changes. We did eliminate some of those local questions we talked about. And then we did change the the gender sex question that we talked about. And the dashboard, the digital dashboard has also been updated. Dr. did a great job on that. And then we just got it translated into Spanish, so that actually just got finalized yesterday. So there will be an option to toggle on the top, just like in years past, but we were able to translate all the changes. Oh, and also, we did not have a way to track if they completed a Spanish or English one in the past. This year, we will have that option, but the feedback has always been that it's minimal, so I think that's a good development. Any questions on the survey, or anything like that? Yes, ma'am?
Hi. So I got thinking, I volunteered at the recent, our cold night shelter, which was in, what was it, in late November? And we had like, what do we have, 93 at First United Methodist. And I was thinking that it would have been a good opportunity, I thought about it in hindsight, to make an announcement to the people at Cold Night Shelter that, just to give you all a heads up that on January 29th, we're going to be doing the pit count, and this is what you can expect. And, this is why we do it. Just an information about that. And I just wanted to know, because I'm thinking we'll probably have a cold night shelter. Chances are, if we're going to have another one, it would be before pit. What are your thoughts about making an announcement like that at our cold night shelters?
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. That's part of like, with going back to the marketing of sharing it with these agencies, and then hopefully you all are posting it. So if you have, I'll use HEP, a front door at HEP, right? You're putting up point in time is on this day. And there is a flyer for that was distributed with the marketing. Because obviously not everyone has email or social media. But I think that's something that would be easy to do. Allie's site at the Clearwater UMC is they do that for the meal, for the dinner site, they drop by there. So them advertising the couple days before will be helpful to you anyways.
Okay. I just think that, we have a number of people, like that sleep in their car, and there were a ton of new faces. And so I just think it's a good opportunity. I mean, the next time when I volunteer there, I'd like to be able to say that, and just wanted to know if y'all thought it was okay and a good idea. And, maybe we could send out if when we do have the next cold night shelter, if it's before, to ask people to make an announcement to the people who are using the shelter that night.
Send that to the site managers at their discretion and say this, if you wouldn't mind sharing this during an activation, I could provide them with a flyer as well.
That'd be great. There are a few additional partners. So yeah, TV is gonna send it out, and then if we do have an activation, include the flyer as well, maybe.
And then on the opposite, I think we've talked about that if we're activating, which around that time, because it's happened, that we could have those cold night shelter flyers that you send out with us out in the field. So for the deployment sites, we'll keep an eye out if that happens concurrently. We can have a printed for the groups to send out.
I don't know what historically, there's never been, or it's been at least 10-15 years where there hasn't been a cold night the night before. Does anyone here remember or have any historical knowledge on one of those before? Or has Tampa ever had one?
Well, we don't go until February, so it kind of depends on how February is.
Because I remember it was Jacob.
No, I'm sorry. I think there was one like 2-3 days before or after, like there was one near one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was right after. Yeah. There hasn't been one the night before since I've been around.
Not since
It's only been
that
4 or
4
5 years,
but it's not been open the night before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cause not my concern, but it's almost like fish in a pond, right? Like fish in a barrel or whatever. Is that you literally, as they're exiting or overnight at dinner even, cause they're supposed to be spending the night there.
Right.
It'd be a very easy way for us to kind of pivot operations. But I've never seen how they've identified a team or anything like that.
Sounds like a 6 to 9 a.m. shift to me.
Yeah.
Or I just said pivot and deployment, right? So instead of going to places where we don't typically get a lot of people early in the morning, Like, I wouldn't change St. Vincent de Paul, St. Pete in downtown St. Pete, but maybe half go there and half go to the UU or somewhere else. The UU, there's only 10 people that can go there for cold night shelter, right? And so maybe more go to Salvation Army at that time. It's really just, it would be a pivot in deployment for us.
That's kind of how we've scheduled it, and then, I actually just engaged with, Salvation Army's new outreach, well, not new anymore, but Salvation Army's outreach team. And she's willing to pivot over to the UMC church, to help with that. So just things that we're thinking through. All right.
I just wanted to share that I am presenting to the Lived Experience Committee this week, and we're talking about cold night shelters and PIT. So hopefully we'll be able to recruit some volunteers there as well and discuss training and be able to share within that network as well.
And they typically deploy over to that library, and that library volunteers, so they could go right back to their stopping grounds. I do see some comments in the chat, but they're kind of cut off. I don't know if you can, I don't want to miss them, sorry.
That's an assumption.
Yes, you guys have to put in your description that you're a dream center, is my understanding, and then they are pulled out of the traditional deployment. So Colette's asking about making sure that her dream center can get deployed or assigned elsewhere. I don't know how Victoria did that, honestly, on the back end. But that would be the same for the youth as well.
I think we need to get lists to be able to compare to make sure that they're not different elsewhere.
Yeah, we could probably send her a list too, yeah, pick it back and forth. Colette, we'll send it over to you to confirm. I want to get with you about the training too, if they're going to traditional trainings, or if you're wanting to host your own training for your individuals. So I'll reach back out to you about that. And then was there another comment after that? Okay, perfect. Thank you. All right, then training.
We have all the trainings for next week. This week, today and tomorrow, we're gonna be training our trainers. We have 2 in-person trainings, and then the rest will be online. I think for the most part, we're good to go with everything, everybody. So, yeah. Sign up for the training. You won't have to find it.
Yesterday, I think.
Yes,
Right,
yes.
yeah.
I did go out yesterday. So you say you guys sent it out to everybody. Okay, that's, I noticed my email, because for some reason, somehow I'm signed up 3 times, so every time I get an email from y'all, I get 3 of them, so.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's probably because my nickname.
At least it's happening.
I'm like, I gotta get free.
Yeah, I don't mind.
If you don't get it, please email TV and let us know so we can ensure that you do get to sign up for your training.
TV, the trainers, do they need to like register for said meeting? Like, I think I got one that says you're the co-host thing, like we did our experiment meeting. And then the other one asked me to register, but I was like, do I? What am I doing?
You're
here?
doing 2 trainings.
For
No, I got
this
2
week,
emails and one said one and one said the other. That's why I was like, now I'm
I
confused.
think she means for trainer. For this week, for the 6th and the 7th, you gotta sign up for one of them.
No, I did that.
Oh,
Yeah.
No, I got 2, I got 2 for my training.
like actual train, yeah.
Remember I emailed you and you're like, no, they're the same. And you like resent them or
I
something.
didn't know that happened for multiple.
Cause I think one said like you're welcome, like you're here to be the co-host or here to, I don't know, whatever it's actually called. But, and then the other one said like register for your training. And I was
well,
like,
you should
I'm pretty
be
sure I am
fine.
registered,
Yeah.
but okay. All right.
The
I
Monday
think
one?
we haven't sent the in-person.
No, the in-person's kind of on the,
Okay.
there's on the. Yeah.
Is there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at me.
Over there.
Sorry, it just, I panicked, you know, I'm like, I don't see them.
Why is it not on my calendar? Yeah.
Brainer. First training of the week, 8:30.
I know, it's like, I said, no,
I was like 8:30, nice, fun. On their way to work, so they're trying to catch up, report on it for
Before
20
they get
minutes
into
and
the-
then-
yeah.
Yeah.
So everything should be good to go with training, and then, honestly, it looks like we're done. Is there anything kind of questions you all have, and anything going on additional? None?
I have something. I presented it one-on-one to TV, but she thought it was best and I agreed to discuss here. Over the summer, the VA held what we called a homeless surge event. It was structured very similar to Pitt, actually, where we sent volunteers out into the community to do outreach, and we brought people into our grant and per diems and our shelters same day. We're doing that event again. It's gonna be structured very different, but it's in conjunction, it's the same day as Pitt. And honestly, the primary focus is those that are already, we have 134 people, veterans, currently in our grant and per diems and our shelter contracts. So the focus is, really gonna be pulling them out. We're having a landlord event at VA, pulling them out of the grant and per diems and putting them into housing that day, as many as we can. Won't be all 154. It'll be like our long stayers is who we're gonna focus on. But we thought, since so many people are gonna be out for Pitt and we're already set up at VA doing this housing event, if people do run across street homeless veterans, it would also be good to connect them with VA, see if we can get them in housing same day or in the program, since we're emptying our programs into housing. So we have a flyer and we don't wanna crash Pitt. That's why I was telling TV, we're not trying, but like, even a lot of VA, and we don't unfortunately have as many as we usually have. I think we have 16 VA people. So when they're out and about, if they find a veteran, they're gonna give them the phone number to call, right? But I didn't know, like, when April and I do train the trainer, can we also share the flyer? Can we have it at the deployment site so people can take the flyers out, and if they find a veteran, the flyer, and I can send it to you, Dominique, if you wanted to share it on the screen. It just really says the title of the event, New Year, New Beginnings. If you're a veteran in need of housing support, call an extension. There's an extension number. And then we would do the rest. Someone would probably come pick them up and, but I know, TV was saying like, this is exciting and like, we don't want it to, and I get it. We don't want it to be the expectation that every Pitt people are gonna get housed. Because that's not really what Pitt's about. So I know that it's kind of a gray area, but at the very least, if we could put the flyers at the deployment sites for volunteers to take out and get the word volunteers, and if not, we understand, and we're still gonna do our little housing event. So,
Awesome. Do you have an extra flyer with you by any chance?
I don't, I pulled in and I'll email it to you, because I think I still have your email, but I pulled in here and I was like, I did not print that. No, I have it electronically.
I think that's good of a bigger situation going on, not situation, but when we talk about the deployment and batching, all the resource cards in general, so,
Right.
I don't know what was decided between deployment and HLA, if that resource has been secured yet. We've talked about, in the past, it was like a CASA card, there's a county card, there's an HLA card. We used to have the VA card, so that's like 4 cards. We talked about potentially consolidating that onto one quarter or half sheet, but I don't think I don't think it's been discussed again. So, what is currently inventoried or identified for that, for deployments, for either batching or at the deployments? It's kind of a Dana TV question, probably.
I don't think that we really agreed on anything. I think that we were trying to wait to figure out, what was going to happen with the NOFA. So I think that is still up for discussion if we do what we typically do, which was the CASA information and the little yellow pamphlet for homeless resources, which I haven't, I think, yes, I have seen that. That was updated for 2025.
We used to get the little cards too. Do we have more yellow booklets?
What is this?
We got very yellow booklets now.
The county printed a bunch of yellow booklets, the August update, so But we traditionally didn't give the yellow books out.
No,
It's
they're
very-
so hard,
Yeah.
which I know we have some of, because I've seen them, because I took the HAP stuff back.
Yeah.
Not everyone does.
But yeah, not everyone took them, we gave them to the team.
No, we would give something, don't we?
I know marketing. The committee, like who was available, and you had a lot of other things going on as well, TV, and I think. Is it possible to look at all of those different cards and like do a combine, including your resource that you're talking about, hey, if you're a veteran, call us number, like for this event? Is that something that we think can be done with the amount of time we have left?
Say that again, you're saying combine all of the resources onto,
Like a quarter page. So you're not carrying around 4 papers and a flyer and. Cause my first thought was, let's make the flyer smaller. Can we do a quarter page? But you're still talking about like 4 or 5 different resources. CASA, it's the Family Justice Center, you know, HLA General. The County General, which we don't need to use the County General one, and then the VA one.
And we can definitely make I sent it to you, it is wordy. We can definitely make it simple, like if you're a veteran. We're hoping to house you or get you in Grand Prix today. And call this number, you know? So we can make it that simple or add that verbiage to another resource sheet. But just so, you know, when we're training volunteers, that they're also aware verbally, like, hey, like, if you find a veteran, let's. And hopefully there's almost enough VA, and we're gonna put out another push too. I'm doing, cause I always do a training for just VA staff. So at that training, I'm gonna ask the people that are registered to volunteer, can you do 2 shifts, especially because we're short? And then I'm gonna put out another push. So hopefully we have almost enough VA to have 1 VA person on every team. We usually do have almost that, you know?
Well, it's the same day, the
Mhm.
same, so combining them together. Would mean that we could only use it this year, like we'd be doing that for nothing. We wouldn't be able to keep it going. So then we do the quarter sheet for this event and then the card with everything else.
Well, the reality is, like, I think of my county card, when every 6 months we have to reprint it, and I check every phone number, everybody's hours, everybody. So I feel like the card's gonna change year to year. You know what I'm saying?
But does it need to, I guess is what I'm
Yeah.
saying, like, could we do general numbers that are never gonna change, like the number for the city is never gonna change? There's 2 of them, but they're not gonna change. And if we did that. Then there would be 2 additional things that team leads would have to make sure. I'm trying to process how we can make sure that we get people information, because we certainly want veterans to know that this event is happening, but it's the same exact day. So at 5 o'clock in the morning, when we're out having a conversation with somebody, this event doesn't start until 8 or 9. How do we make sure that they remember that this event is for them and they should get there?
Yeah, or if there's someone does a vet survey at 6:30
Right.
at night, they're probably shut, you know, that.
And they're gone.
They're gone.
Without still handing out that same resource.
We will be able to put the details on that quarter sheet that we're talking about, and then maybe not be able to do it next year, but have the information. So that they know when it starts and ends, if that's able to be provided.
Yeah, but then you'd be giving it to someone 6:30 at night with a resource that is really no good to them anymore.
Yeah,
I think it depends on
like
how
I
you
just
word
give
it.
it out, but you
I was gonna
also,
say, but
they still
it's
put a
the,
number on there if they.
There's
just give
still,
it-
yeah, it's a number that's active all
Yeah.
year round, it just won't, and it says on the large flyer that we could put in the small, the time. Of the actual event, when they could come to VA and meet a landlord, you know,
Yeah, landlord's taking interviews now from
yeah.
8:30 to 5, you know.
But yeah, if they call at 6:30 at night, the next morning, we'll be calling and say, hey, called, I know you were found right pit as a homeless vet. And so.
You'll still be able to get it.
Right.
I think that's something that we could do.
So you're saying quarter sheet plus resource card?
No, just quarter sheet.
Oh, and again, if it's in Canva, you can just update it year to year, just like,
Mhm.
I think like the hurricane resources, there's those, just.
I feel like that might be easier than trying to batch everything together and making sure we have all the resources and people have to hold multiple things
Yeah.
and things get lost.
Yeah.
I think that might be easier going forward too. Like you said, just continually update that. And if there's a new resource or an event next year, we can enter the information. then.
So in the training PowerPoint, I think it just says like resource cards, so you could, however you want to
Add a
update that
resource.
language. And we can, that may include X, Y, Z.
Okay.
So do the individuals here who know about the CASA card, the county card and the HLA card, are we able to get those examples sent over so I can look at the information on them?
I mean, I can
know
send you mine.
a lot of agencies have different cards and I know we were confused and we were looking for supply.
Yeah, I think that's might be easier to consolidate as best we could.
I don't even know if I've seen a CASA card in the past, but I only did the surveying once. Yeah.
I might in my office, it's just the FJC, it's the Family Justice card. I don't think I have the justice, yeah. But I will look, and then the VA. The VA cards, there's like the general VA.
We do, we have now a small, like a business card size.
The Lions Club.
We want it. It must be offended. Oh.
Some glasses. All right.
Hey,
Um,
can I mention one thing about the resource card? It seems sometimes a lot of those resources are centered in mid to South Pinellas, so want to make sure that North Pinellas has a lot, and I know that Clearwater has had significant numbers of homeless represented in our PIT account, or our PIT count, but also the Lived Experience Advisory Committee has developed, they've got like 4 pages of resources for, free meals and clothing and all that kind of thing. So I'd like that to be linked on there some way, because if that's who we're touching is literally homeless people on the day of PIT. And it's like, look, this is where you can go get a meal or shoes or whatever. I don't want to make it super cumbersome, but if we can indicate that there are free resources available, not just get on a list for, services, which is a lot of it is getting on a list, but anyway, just put, something to think about.
know if I've seen the lived experience resource before.
I'll send it to you after the meeting.
Yeah, that'd be great.
It's 4.5 pages.
So.
We could link that
Is
on
that
our
compared to the
website.
yellow? How is
With
that
entry,
compared to-
showers, free
Yeah.
resources that people can find, all the way from Unitarian Church, all the way to Pinellas Park.
And we could put a link to our website that has those resources on
Yeah.
there. And put that on the quarter sheet.
Yeah, see, like the county card is so small that we try to do north, mid, south, so it's like Shepherd Center, St. Vincent de Paul Soup in Clearwater, and then Daystar. Like those are our north, mid, south, and then we list all the shelters. But again, a lot of those. I feel like most people know the 6 shelters, you know what I'm saying? So again, it's like what's valuable right now, and then QR codes, love them or hate them, but we're not gonna be able to fill 4.5 pages on a quarter sheet or a whole 6 yellow book. So that's why I'm like, how do you find that balance? So I will, marketing, take it away. But I will commit, absolutely, I'll send you the county one, I'll look at my stuff for the CASA one. Also, we can send over both the VA ones. You might have, it just came through, actually, I was thinking you might have emailed the other Dominique, would it just?
I do that.
Preview all the time. There's a few of us around. Okay.
Well, I appreciate you guys. Just so you are aware, when we did this in August, we did it over a 3-day period, 3 weeks at Wednesday for 3 consecutive weeks. We did find 62 street homeless veterans. 38 of those went into grant and per diem same day or our contract shelter, and 46 were linked with permanent housing intervention. So it was like, the data was huge. So if we can do the same, it'd be pretty awesome.
Is there gonna be somebody there by chance to do VI-SPIDA? I mean, not VI, sorry, to do PIT assessments, surveys?
So we do, we have one, and actually she's saying registered, we have one volunteer who wants to help and she can't really ambulate well.
Mhm.
So she said, what can I do from VA? So in the past, what we did, anytime we had a walk-in homeless veteran at VA, we did a survey right there on site. So I'll have her doing the same.
All right, any other comment, questions, concerns? All right, Suzanne, you can drop the flyer. Can Suzanne drop the flyer in the chat? Awesome.
Sure.
Yeah, okay, I was like, yeah.
Does she have it?
Apparently, yeah, she has it.
Okay.
So, yeah, you can go ahead, Suzanne, thank you. All right. I don't think I missed any more comments. All right, we are done. We'll wrap it up. Anybody wanna
Anything to say?
close it up?
I was just gonna say, one other thing for, we can always use help with is like the week before, letting commercial businesses know that we're out doing PIT, especially if you have places where you're likely gonna be on their property giving surveys. It always seems to help, like, I know in years past, Walmart has scared surveyors off and things like that, if they understand a little bit more why we're doing it, and then also the libraries, letting them know why we'll be in there. I know a lot of what's happening, thing in, but probably just a week before.
We should also mention when we're training volunteers, those sort of things, but also if someone on staff approaches you, don't freak out. Just act human, and usually it's okay. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah, we can.
listen, the current climate.
You should always listen.
All
All right.
He's like, more on the edge, Sarah, come on.
All right. No, we're gonna adjourn. We wanna adjourn.
You wanna adjourn?
Oh, I move that we adjourn this meeting.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Oh, yeah, all right. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Have a wonderful day. Please share